Let's just understand this right now. This is a lot for any one person to deal with. And then add a new budding relationship, a marriage to somebody you have no history with. Baby, it's a lot. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach. We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season number 12, episode number 5. Last night was magic. Listen, if it's your first time visiting my channel, I go couple by couple, not scene by scene, and what it appears to be is that I'm watching and recording this in the late midnight hours. So right now it's 12:30, okay? That means 12:30, okay? That means in the middle, right? And I'm up trying to record so I can edit and get this up. Let's keep your fingers crossed. So much has happened in this episode with Chris and Paige. I feel like they should have had a separate episode for them all together, hands down, no questions asked. So much so that I need to make sure that we do a live tomorrow in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to make sure not to set anything up around that time so that we can have this time together. So I'm not gonna start with Paige and Chris though. I mean, that'd be like all the fun. Like, why would I start there? We're gonna start with Ryan and Clara, which were the next couples that we saw. Clara is saying, I don't know Ryan, but somebody's talking about they're rating their marriage of 3 days on a honeymoon. A 10 out of 10. They know nothing about each other, but it's a 10 out of 10. These people be delusional. So it ain't just Paige by herself, because how y'all a 10 out of 10 already? Nevertheless, they talk about what do they see themselves doing, you know, when they're old and blah, blah, blah. And he says that he sees his schedule doing the same things over and over, kind of straightforward, reading the paper, eating breakfast, watching TV. And I was like, but that's your life already, so you won't be making any changes. And you got a wife, and so now some adjustments and some flowing needs to happen. But no. So he's making it seem like this is who he's gonna be when this is actually who he is. Anyway, Clara begins to explain how a flight attendant schedule is not so mundane or the same or routine, right? That it's all over the place, kind of like Clara is. And you know, you can see like there's a little bit of uneasy because he likes things a certain way, strategically done. Y'all seen it in the beginning, right off the top. So then they go have a dolphin day. They watch the dolphins, rub the dolphins, feed the dolphins, wave at the dolphins, take a picture with the dolphins, not necessarily in that order, and they get on out of there. Like, okay, it's cute. Then they go to like the area where you can see underwater, the aquarium portion. So it's kind of like underground. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. If you have, then you know exactly, well, you've seen it on TV, but it's underground so that you're able to see inside the big pool where the dolphins are. And so one of the things that came up was the conversation about children. The number of children, the names of children. Both Vera and Elton are names I would not name my children, but then listen, what do I know? They're not my kids. My kids' names are Kingston and Royal. So hello. You know, what's his face? Ryan asks, what did you learn from your parents that you would want to pass on? And two great things were to support them in whatever endeavors they have 100%, and to show them what hard work, or give them lessons in what hard work, the importance of hard work and achieving and accomplishing goals is, right? She asked him if he would want to raise his kids in the church. Child, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. You could see it was a lot for Ryan because he was like wholeheartedly yes. And she's all like, okay, well, it sounds good, but I'm not going to want to force them into that because I had to be forced, or I was made to go to church when I didn't want to. And I want them to be able to explore whatever spiritual or religious dynamics that they want to see what best fits with their life. And so, you know, he's all like, yeah, this is going to be a problem because it is our responsibility as parents to kind of shape them and mold them in the way that they should go, says the Bible. Now, I feel like at a young age, right, a child doesn't really know what direction they want to take spiritually. So I feel like it's important that you share what your beliefs are, and then also expose them and have them at least be kind and accepting of everyone else's beliefs, right? So Clara talks to the producers in their confessional and says that she's like in the in-between, right? It's the I'm married but get to know you stage. I married you first and now I'm getting to know you, and it's kind of weird, but I like him. You know, so it's the in-between, the I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm excited because there's a commitment. She kind of warns him that she's messy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. When they get back, he's like, okay, so when we get back, we have to go to one another's houses or homes. So what is it that you want to tell me? And she warns him that she's messy. Baby, let me tell you, we all see that you are messy. We can see by the suitcase and the way you are organized, okay? Not everybody folds in things neatly and rolls them up. But honey, you just threw like all your drawers and just threw them in there, and then you just be rattling. Like there's no rhyme or no reason. There's no underwear in this pocket, or it's no rhyme or no reason to your suitcase. And so everybody knows that you're messy. She also says, sometimes I forget to wash the dishes. Listen, I think we all have moments of fuck those dishes. But for me, it seems like her sometimes is more often than not. It just something about her tells me that she is not the cleanest person. Wrong choice of words. That she's not domesticated, right? That would be, and even domesticated would be the wrong word too. That she just doesn't have like that kind of home training where your mother was like, wash the dishes, take out the trash, clean the bathroom, like, or if she did, it was so strict that when she got on her own, she was totally rebellious. That is the feeling I get from her. He says to her, because they come up with, you know, when the experiment is over, that they would move into Ryan's home, and he lets her know, well, one thing I want you to know is that I don't have a lot of closet space, and I'm kind of particular. Like, she's all like, listen, we are melding two lives together, and though it is your home I'm coming into, it needs to feel like me. And he's all like, I'm kind of particular. And that's where a problem lies. Like, moving into someone else's space and feeling like it is yours too could pose a problem. And so for me, it's always important, if you decide that you are going to meld two lives, that you guys take your respective spaces and go somewhere else. Because if y'all know anything like I know, make somebody mad and they'll tell you, you get the fuck up out my house. This is my house. This is my house. My name is on the deed. You shouldn't be saying it. I'm not condoning it. You need to, that's why, like, one of the biggest thing is uproot, move together. If you haven't noticed, this is gonna be long. So let's talk Erik and Virginia and try to move a little faster than I did before. I feel like Erik is super controlling, and it is starting to seep out of his pores like the alcohol from the night before on Virginia, okay? He's all asking her why are you doing your hair? Why are you putting on makeup to go outside? We're going to the pool. You gonna get in the water, you just gonna mess it up. Sir, I'm not going outside without my makeup, is pretty much what she's saying. Sir, I'm not gonna get my hair wet, because if I do, it's gonna take 4 hours for me to get it back to this dry, stringy mess that I have. Sir, no, pretty much. He kind of tells her, you're gonna get adjusted to my life. Like, why are you gonna get adjusted to hers? Why are you guys gonna both not find some commonality or some common ground and compromise? Y'all know I like them C's: communication, compromise, commitment, right? Consideration. You know I like them C's when it comes to relationships. And so I'm just wondering where the compromise and consideration is going to come in, because it doesn't seem like Erik has the other C, which is control. Nevertheless, I also wrote down, they went down and they got a cabana, right? Went through the cabana, sat at the pool, and she wanted to do Las Vegas shots or bombs. Las Vegas bombs are what they called. And what I realized is that, because first thing she said was, we're missing the liquor, right? And so what I realized is right now he is obliging her interest, in the words of Naya on Ready to Love. Like he's just indulging her, appeasing her for now while they're on the honeymoon. Like possibly something's gonna change when they get back home in Atlanta. And I don't think that it is. I think that he's hopeful and that this is just like for now. But I don't know, y'all. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think that she is going to adjust? I think that she does have a job and she will have to conduct herself accordingly. But I think also that she's one of them people that every day after work, I gotta have a shot, I gotta have a glass of wine, I need to unwind, and this is how I do it. Then they do the whole, he's all like, that's enough, right? The one drink, is that good enough? And she's all like, yeah. I'm all like, this is too much for my soul. Though I think that she has a bit of a drinking problem. I don't like how he's trying to manage her, right? And that whole age difference is showing up, and he's showing up and trying to manage her. And if you know, like I know, men that are older than you in that much respect sometimes feels like, you know, because I have this experience that I can tell you something. Baby, let me tell you something. You can be older than me by 6, 7, 10 years. But as a woman, I'm hella mature. So consider that when you're trying to tell me something. Like, not that we can't receive correction or advice, but it's all like in the tactic and the way you say it. And I don't know, it might just be me. He is rubbing me the wrong way, period. And that's how Mary Had a Little Lamb. I be wanting to say that all the time. They're sitting in the pool and Erik talks about how she's the last piece of this puzzle, because she was like, oh, your work and stuff comes before me. And he's all like, no, it's a circle and it all is together and you're the last piece of the puzzle, you know. And I'm all like, Erik, they talk about pet peeves and Virginia's like, I'm a bit of a neat freak, or not really a neat freak, but the wet towel on the floor, it's a thing and it bothers me. Now listen, in a hotel room, a wet towel on the floor indicates housekeeping. You can clean this up, you can pick this up, right? And maybe that's what it is. I would hope that he would not have wet towels on the floor at home, unless it is for him to step out of the shower or to stand on or whatever, but that's what rugs are for. So my hope is that that was signifying for housekeeping. This is a dirty towel. Like, I don't know, y'all. He did make, you know, like, he did make mention like, oh, okay, I'll fix it. But yeah, I don't like no wet towels on the floor either. When Virginia expresses that she once had a guy roommate and has guy friends that she hangs out with, girls and guys, and that it is platonic, honey, if the green-eyed monster did not come out of Erik, he was like, there are certain rules when it comes to guys. And I was, rules, just the one thing Virginia is not afraid of is to open up her mouth. So, oh, now we got rules? Girl, I'm with you. Like, rules, like, oh yeah, no, who, that's what you rules for your kids. Like, what? He was like, I don't believe girls and guys can be friends, except for if they were gay, or if your friend is dating someone, then you can be platonic friends. He says he feels like that guys, even as your friend, at one time or another has looked at you in a way that he wanted to hook up with you at one time or another, right? Not necessarily acted on it, but may have thought about it. So that makes it awkward. You guys, especially the fellas, let me know down below in the comments how you feel about that. I have one guy friend that I have been friends with for 17 years. And I can tell you that there have been moments where when we were younger, we could have crossed the line and been more, when we had said if we weren't married by 28 that we would have gotten married and then there was this whole confessional about how much, you know, he's always been attracted to me and had a crush on me, but bruh, you married, you know, just all of those things. So I could see where it could be true. Y'all let me know down below in the comments, especially the fellas. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Can girls and guys be platonic friends? Number one. And if you have a platonic friend that is a girl, have you ever thought of her in a way of something more than like wanting to hook up? I'm just asking because I want to know, and I need y'all to tell me down below in the comments. Y'all know how much I like talking to y'all and hearing your opinions, even when we don't agree. Let me see. He feels like he should be the only guy in her life. Like there should be no other guy friends. Y'all, what y'all think? I feel like that's too much. I feel like if I was friends with them before you, then as long as it's not crossing the line, as long as they are just strictly platonic, then especially if we are in a monogamous relationship and I've made this commitment to you that I wouldn't be with anyone else and vice versa, then that is something you're going to have to trust me on. You're going to have to trust me as your wife that is what I'm going to do. And why not make my friends your friends too, right? Look who's in, Punchinella 47. We can all be friends and take shots together. Shots, everybody. Because that's what Virginia does with her friends. She takes shots. Now, I did write down, his insecurities are showing. And the way that he was acting about guy friends made me feel like something happened in his past that brings that type of emotion. Even if it wasn't directly to him, like maybe it was indirectly with a friend or something, but something has happened that has caused him to have such a strong opinion about guys and girls being friends. Okay, anyway, we see them in front of the strip with the waterfalls. And tells her he will take care of her. You know, Virginia says how she believes that everything should be 50-50 and that all the parties in the house should work and there's no problem. And honestly, I could see it in Erik's eyes that though he was agreeing with it, he would prefer her to stay home. What he says was, I'm gonna support you no matter what. So to me, what that sounds like to me is that he is going to be the overarching support system that a lot of women want, and that is financially, right? And really that her money is going to be her money. That's what I heard. I don't know if y'all heard something different. Y'all let me know down below in the comments if you did, because sometimes I be hearing stuff and need to clean my ears out. But the way I felt was that he was saying, okay, that sounds great, 50-50, but I'm going to support you no matter what. I'm going to take care of everything. You can take care of little stuff. I'm gonna take care of the big stuff. Naya would be in love with him because he want babies real quick. He gonna take care, provide, pay the mortgage. She would be in love. Let's see. We also find out that 4 days away from home equates to 15 days a month. So he's away 15 days and he's at home 15 days. Somebody asked me in the comments, and I just have not run into the comment yet. I be trying to do all of them and then get sidetracked. But ask me, well, why get married if you want time apart like that from your spouse? Well, for someone who is independent and likes their autonomy, such as myself, it wouldn't bother me. It would give me the opportunity to miss you, right? It would give me the opportunity to do all the things that I need to do, that I want to do, because what I have found is that I'm like a magnet, and you know, you want to be with me, which is all great because it's reciprocated most times. And because of that, having a healthy space away for me makes me better for you. I like my independence. I like my autonomy. I like all of that. But I do also like the connection from a couple. So I could do all my YouTubing with no problem. All my life coaching with no problem. I can schedule my days around the schedule so that I can make sure that I can focus on you when you're here. But when you're not here, I can really dive into my workbooks and the book that I'm writing and all of my podcasts that I'm bringing back. Like, I could really delve in. So I hope that answers. I can't remember because it was a fella. I want to say it was Jada, maybe. I'm not sure. But I hope that answers that question for y'all. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking, what do y'all feel about submitting some questions, asking me some questions? Ask Talisa. You can ask me whatever you want to ask me, relational, or about myself, and I'll answer. Y'all let me know down below in the comments, and we can set something up, like a live, because then it's more like, yeah, or maybe not a live, because I might need to edit my answers. She talks about how gives an analogy about having a child that's 5, and if you're away so often, it's gonna sometimes feel like being a single mom. So though she is always drinking, she's very much so inquisitive, and her brain is working, and she's really thinking about how this relationship is gonna work. And so though there is some issue with, like I said, her addictions that she has, mainly alcohol, she's not a dummy. He goes on to say, you know, because she's like, well, what was the issue? What's the issue? Why haven't things worked out? And he goes on to tell her that it's because it's not, people who want him there every night, that it's not going to work. That I'm going to have to call it quits because it's not going to work. And it's just that simple. Period. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't know if that was a cut from somewhere else, but her face seemed a little taken aback by like how matter of fact he was. He's a pilot. It is the life he lives. It is the choice that he made. And listen, we are all free to come and go in relationships as we please. Don't try and force something that is not working and it's gonna make you unhappy. Definitely figure out how to get out. Let's stop talking about them and talk about our cute little couple, Briona and Vince, okay? Yes, to them. The grandmother, Vince's grandmother, is doing fine. She's doing well. She's recovering, and he hopes that she continues in that vein. Me too. I hope your grandma's doing really well, Vince. I send my well wishes to you and your family. Hopefully you and Briona are still together. So they have a conversation about living arrangements, condos, townhomes, high rises, you know, and Bria's all like, so, which would you prefer? And he says, you know, a condo, but like a townhouse more importantly. And she's all like, and I feel like right now I feel like right now Vince has the ability to set the tone of their relationship. And he caves. This is where she shows up as bossy. Because he says to her, well, I know your parents, your family and friends wanted me to know that you're a bossy. I'm the girl that, whatever the song is, right? And so after expressing that the reason that he wanted, and she's all like, well, I want to live in a high rise. He literally immediately caves and says, okay. Like, says, I can see myself doing that. Vince, but that's not what you said. What you said was that you wanted to live in a townhouse or a condo. It is about compromise. So you caving in so quickly sets the tone of your relationship, because boom, right behind it, she does it again when you guys start talking about kids. You wanting 2 kids or 3 kids or whatever. Well, no, that wasn't them that wanted the number of kids. Hold on. That you wanting kids in 2 years. And she says, no, 3 years. Not like a compromise, let's talk about it. It was a no, 3 years. It is our bodies that carry it. But my point being is that she gave him no room. Like, no room for compromise, right? This is what it is. You want this, but I want this. And so we're going to go with what I want, because I want what I want. And I know, like, I know what's best, right? That's the very, like, A-type personality she is. Very much so, this is what I want and this is what we're getting. And he seems like he's going to go right along with it because he wants her to be happy. He wants to make sure his wife is happy all the time. I don't know. Y'all can agree with me or not, but do that down below in the comments. Let me know. Because I feel like just like communication is important in a relationship, compromising is also. Not compromising your beliefs, your ethics, your values, your morals, but compromising shit that would essentially make your relationship work better. Finding a commonality. Oh, another C there for your relationship, right? That's just my thoughts. I be thinking I know some stuff. I do be knowing some things, okay? You can trust me on that. Oh, guys. So talking about this part of Vince kind of leaks into Paige, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. After Paige and Vince, after Vince and Briona talk to Paige and Chris, Vince comes back with the tea, honey, and is like, you know what? Shared that she was that Mercedes, Chris's ex-fiance, is 6 weeks pregnant, something that Paige did not know. He conveys that Chris is a little broken about it, and also says that he would have left and thought about, both of them actually said they would have left and thought about themselves, like, I'm out, I don't have to deal with this, we don't have no real connection. Bria's like, girl, run. They go to dinner, and it's at the like man-made Mandalay Beach where like the automatic waves are or whatever, and he carries her over the sand, and they're so cute together. And I wrote down, he's very affirmative and expresses himself with ease when it comes to her, about how he feels about her. But again, is it too much too soon? Like, is your judgment being clouded, like we would say for any woman? I feel like he is, like he said, a romantic, and the romantic side is coming out of him. But I also feel like quite possibly it's too much. And we find out that they were intimate, that they got closer. And I feel like maybe it's clouding his judgment. Like, she is doing things that shows her support, of course, grandmother. And that's the thing that brought them closer, that it happened naturally, that they wanted it to flow, and it happened, okay, on day 2. He said that sex was magical for him, and that he wanted it to be organic. And see, that alone tells me now that he's smitten, right? That he has stars in his eyes for her, that he has the little heart circling around, like when you get hit in the head. Like, I just want him to take a pause in a moment and not be clouded by the same thing that most of us are. But I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of cute to see him smitten by her. Like, you can see that she is the alpha in the relationship. You can see that he is more emotional and expressive. Like, she does say things like, you know, how much she thinks that they do match, and that they meld, and that the experts got it right, etc., etc. But you can see that she's a little more reserved in her emotions. I don't know. I still like them quite a bit. I just want them to work on their dynamic. And whatever works for them, works for them. I just don't want him to be such a people pleaser and a pushover, and just wanting her to be happy that he just goes along with everything. And that is how I see this turning out. And so with that being said, I'm hoping that he does not allow him wanting her to be so happy that it negates his own happiness. And scene and cut. Let's talk about Haley and Jacob. Okay, this isn't gonna take too long, because per usual, it's not really that much going on, even though I feel like they are opening up and starting to talk a little more, not by much. Now listen, he's eating raw onions, and she's got her face frowned up for breakfast. It seems weird, y'all probably think it's weird, but I like raw onions and will bite a raw onion just like he did with no problem. Like, right with I love the taste of raw onions. She asks about red flags, and I don't think they really talked about it. If they did, I didn't write it down. She asked about his schedule, and he talked about his gym schedule, right? I don't think she was talking about his gym schedule, and I might be wrong, but she tells squats and whatever, push-ups and whatever that he does, and that he has Star Wars kettlebells, and she says, I do yoga. She looks like she does yoga, very lean. It's a lot of stretching. And he's all like, well, I'll go to yoga if you do low impact strength training. She's all like, sounds good. Okay, whatever. Then he says, I'm trying to see how much you actually like me. Because, I can smell your onions from here, was what she said. And he said, I'm trying to see how much you actually like me. And then she gives a little smirk, because I guess that's weird. Is it? I like onions. And if you like me, the onions won't bother you. I'll chew some gum, brush my teeth, whatever. I like onions. They have dinner in the Shark Reef. Let me see. They have some small little banter about the type of car he likes, which is the DeLorean from Back to the Future, which she didn't even know what that was, because why? The age difference. He likes 80s shows and 70s shows because 80s is when he was watching them, okay? They did go watch the Goonies together. They had on some like those little, y'all don't know, probably y'all don't know nothing about those glasses. But those were from the 80s, right? Let me see. He talks about the craziest thing he's ever done, and that was wear a pink thong bought by his friends on the beach, and it was a video, but he's fit, so it didn't matter to him. Who cares? They both said their first serious relationship, one was at 15, that was Haley, the other one was at 19. And I just felt like they were doing better. She thanked him for dinner, and she actually went in for a kiss. Okay, I can go on. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna talk about what you want to talk about. What you want to talk about? This shit is gonna be long. What you want to talk about? Paige and Chris? Me too. Me too, girl. And guys, when they open up the scene, you see Chris talking to the producers, and the producers are trying to convince him to share the secret, and he's all like, I don't want to share it. And then they rewind to 2 hours prior, okay? And they're eating breakfast, and she's all like, you're not gonna pray? You could see that there was something happening, that there was something off. She said like it felt like she was pulling teeth trying to talk to him, and she asked, how are you feeling? And he said, you know what, I got a lot going on. Okay, most people who say I got a lot going on and we're sitting together kind of elaborate and share more, but she has to pretty much beg him to open up, and he just does not want to. All he says is he found out some disturbing information, devastating information this morning that he needs to deal with. And it's just very surprising, and that he's not sharing. He does not want to share with her. He is being very evasive, very dismissive, not including her as, not even like, you know what, I need to process it first, because that's what a smart person would say. Like, I just found this out this morning, you know, Paige, and I really need to kind of work through it a little bit, and then give me a few minutes to wrap my head around this. You know, just give me a little bit of time, because sometimes that's what we need, right? Like, I know you guys are jumping all up on Chris. And I just want y'all to know, one of the things that I wrote down was what? C is for communication. This is a brand new marriage. You cannot dismiss her. You have got to figure out how to express yourself, or ask for a few moments to gather yourself so that you can build a good foundation in communication. Not only that, but also in trust, because you're dismissing me and you're not sharing, and it seems like everybody fucking knows I can't trust you. You're not opening up to me. You're not communicating. You're not saying anything, right? And granted, I want y'all to think about how they don't know one another, right? And so I have to spill my beans to this person that I don't know, and I just married them, and damn, I got to share this information with them. I'm not quite ready. How are they gonna receive it, right? Like, y'all give him a little leeway, because I know we don't, you know, we're not totally Chris fans, but I want you to put yourself in his shoes, right? Do that for a little while. Okay, just indulge me for a little while. Stay with me for a while. So, Paige is like, I can't. This is too much. And she gets off. I mean, you know, gets out of there. Like, coming off of the heels of, I'm not attracted to you, and now you don't want to talk to me. Like, I ain't gonna do this. Like, I'm ready to walk out. Keep on walking. I ain't talking to you anymore. Like, that should be her. You could just go. Walk on. Like, and that should be the producer singing her background. Because this is a lot for any one person to have to deal with and to process in something new like this. So when Paige comes back, she's like, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Like, she like, what's going on? So he finally agrees to tell her. He drags her into the bathroom, turns on all the water, tells her to take her mic off. Of course, we don't hear anything. He comes out. They ask him, well, what's up? What did you tell her? He was like, I told her, and she is having a moment. Meaning, She is taking a deep breath. She is in shock. She is confused. I don't know if she's crying or not. Probably not. Doesn't seem like she's that emotional, but she is definitely taken aback. Comes out of there, grabs her clothes, goes back in to change her clothes, and comes out. Okay? Listen. I don't know why he had her take her mic off and turn the water off and all of that for theatrics and have the camera crew all around. I don't know why he did that, because you know, like I know, that they was going to tell us. It's all reality TV. It's all a setup. Even though I think a lot of this is playing out real, we have to keep in mind that a lot of it is staged, right? When she talks to, comes out dressed and talks to the producer, she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. Everything that I've always wanted is being taken from me right now. I mean, fair enough. She wanted to be married. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to have a family with her husband, you know, be a family. Okay. I don't know, y'all. At this point, she talking about she don't know what she gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna be like, okay, I think you have a lot going on. And not just because he has a baby, right? Not just because of that. But also because you are unsure about us just the other day. Also because you have a lot going on, and this new dynamic plus a new baby is a lot for anybody to process. Him and Paige both. Maybe you need time to process it on your own. And I am going to bow out gracefully, because that is what ladies do, so that you can get your shit together, brother. It is what it is. She goes and visits the homegirl, okay? The sister. She goes and talks to Bree, and Bree makes it plain when she shares that she got a bomb. I got a bomb. Sorry, when she goes and she says she had a bomb dropped on her, and she explains what happened, and the girl is pregnant. At the same time, Vince is over there talking to Chris and is sharing the same thing simultaneously. I can't remember. Was it Briona that said? No. Paige says that she was numb and she has questions, and that they're trying to run it all back. And the fact of the matter is, when Briona asks, like, how many weeks? She's all like, I don't know. Like, she didn't ask for any details. I mean, again, the same thing she did when she found out about the ex, right? The ex-fiance. She didn't ask all the pertinent details. She just went along with it. I guess because it didn't matter. What we found out, of course, is that they got engaged in February and broke it off in May. But that wasn't the last time they had sex. Yep, 3 months. He says that she's been preggers a few weeks. That's all she knows. Now, Paige, delusional self, was saying how she felt things were turning over, you know, and that she tells Briona, who knows how he's feeling. I wrote down, fuck him. How are you feeling? Meanwhile, Vince is asking all the questions over there with Chris, okay? He asked, if there was no Paige, would you go back to the other woman? He said yes, because of course, you want your family unit to be together. But then he also says he wants to know about Chris. I want to know what Paige is thinking, what her headspace is like. You know, the Bible says that your wife comes before all others. That includes parents and children. And what if Paige decides that this is it? You know, he says he wants to try and make it work. Why? Because y'all getting paid per episode? I thought y'all got a lump sum. You breach a contract? Why? Bree asked her if there's a reason for her to stay. What is there a reason to stay? She says, I don't know. And running from this relationship and problems, is that really an option? Because when you're married, you're supposed to work through things. Yes, baby. Yes, that is true. But you just met this man and married him 3 days ago. So it does not hold true for this relationship that you are in. Please start thinking of yourself first. It is not selfish for you to put you first. You do not have to self-sacrifice so that you could be happy. Your happiness is above all else. What is it for you? Now listen, I'm all in my heart going, she does not have her boundaries and expectations in order. He is crossing all kinds of lines, morally, ethically, in a belief practice, like, and you want to talk about sticking it out. I like that Bree said, I know this is going to be harsh, but don't think about him. Same thing I just said. I didn't even realize I had wrote that down. I was off on the tangent. Don't think about him. Focus on you, because maybe he wasn't considering you as his wife beforehand. Her reply was, I don't have any idea what I'm going to do. What would you do? What would you do? Because I know I probably wouldn't even meet for dinner. I would have had the conversation, and my conversation would have went like, okay, we did this married at first sight, marrying a stranger. This was all on the pretense of you being free from other obligations. You now have a budding obligation, and I feel like it's going to cloud your judgment in the way you move, and I'm going to bow out gracefully. Not because you're an asshole, right? Not because you're full of yourself, not because you're a low-key narcissist, none of those things, but because you really need to handle your business. It's just that simple. So he comes in and asks how she's feeling, and she's all like, I'm gonna allow you to lead the conversation. You know, and he's all like, well, I did, and you left, and I don't know how you feel. And she's all like, I'm just confused. I think we all are. Look, my head was itching, but it was appropriate, because we all are a little confused and conflicted. But really, are we? Because the more we talk about it, the more I realize that he might be a manipulative, pompous ass, but this could happen to anybody. Anybody. She finally asks, how many weeks is she? He tells her she's 6 weeks pregnant. And though we haven't been together in May, her father passed away. I went to console her. One thing led to another, and we had sex, because that was 6 weeks before they got married. Keep in mind, you don't know that you're marrying that person until 2 weeks prior. And as women, we probably are, you know, abstaining or whatever the hell we doing, or not, right? Being more safe, okay? Most fellas is probably being more safe because they knew that they were going through this process. But he wasn't. It was good. 6 weeks ago, he had no clue who Paige was. 6 weeks ago, he was just climbing in the bed with Mercedes, that's her name. 6 weeks ago, he was consoling her sexually and getting his flesh gratification, okay? Like, so it could honestly happen to anybody. Not that I'm condoning it. I just want you to think about how 6 weeks ago, he didn't know her. He didn't know her until 2 weeks prior, right? So there were 4 weeks, a month. Listen, y'all can pretend like y'all gonna wait as soon as you go through the process because you really want to be married. Y'all can do that if you want to, but I'm not gonna play that game with y'all. He probably thought he wasn't even gonna get picked. You understand me? So yeah, I mean, really think about that before we jump on him. Though there are characteristics about him I don't like, this is one thing that I'm looking at realistically and rationally. This happens. Okay. All right, because we're getting all the facts now. Paige is so sweet and so not concerned about herself that she asks about how's she doing. He says, had to tell her that I was married. Awkward, uncomfortable laugh. Kind of that space where I don't know what else to say. I don't know what my response is supposed to be, and apologizes because, you know, laughing, this isn't a laughing matter, because, you know, Paige is looking like, nigga, you laughing? Like, what are we laughing for? Like, no, I'm not, this isn't funny to me. Y'all, do you understand how I still got all of this left, plus the little scene with them together, all the people? This is a lot. Now, I'm going to commend him because he does offer an apology for his behavior from calling her unattractive to, of course, now this baby. You ugly, and I got a baby on the way. He says he wants to work things out with her. And I'm all like, okay. He says, if today was decision day, what would you do? I said, hell no. She said, I would have to say no. I would probably walk away. Then you should probably do that. You should probably do that. But no. 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 She says she's no nonsense. She says I'm no nonsense and I'm not going to walk away. And I wrote to myself, where are you no nonsense? Because there has been nothing showing me that you are no nonsense. You are with all his nonsense. Like all of it. No nonsense would have said when you thought that he wasn't attracted to you or something was off, then wouldn't have slept with him. No nonsense would say when the man said to me that he wasn't attracted to me after sleeping with me twice, would have had me walk away. No nonsense says to me, I'm going to let you take care of your obligations with your child to be, your mother, the mother of your child. That's what no nonsense would do. But no, you with all the whatever nonsense. So she asked him, do you have any feelings for her, or is there a possibility of the two of you getting back together? And he says he made a vow to her and he's going to put his queen first. And now he starts like to compliment her and tell her how beautiful she is and how intelligent she is. And she's all smiling and how, you know, Paige, you're really sweet. She's eating all that shit up. I'm all like, girl, don't. He must be really charismatic in person because I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I don't feel it, but I ain't there. Okay? Listen. Gotta be. Like, gotta be. Because none of this you saying would move me in any shape, way, shape, or fashion. Then he says, I'm going to support you in whatever decision you make, whether you leave or you stay. But if you go, I'm going to chase after you. You believed him because she kind of smiled like, oh, that's cute. It's not. It's not. Then they talk about how you now know that she's in, right? Now you understand that she's all in because she starts talking about how she was a stepmom before. And he talks about, yes, you know, I understand that my wife is above all others, you know. What are we doing? The one thing that Chris said that I do agree with is that love is a choice, okay? Love is a choice, and you choose that person every day you wake up. You choose to deal with it or not. You choose to be in the relationship. You choose. But at what point do you stop choosing and consider your happiness? When you are unhappy, when you are in a toxic situation, one day you have to start choosing you. I choose me. So whenever I tell somebody I choose me, that means I put my needs above all others. For me, what's best for me first? In not a selfish way, but in a self-care way. So he tells her, I feel like we need to start fresh and focus on our friendship. And then she comes in with the God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And God don't make no fool either. God don't make no fool. A fool ties a rock to a slingshot is what the Bible says, okay? I can get in there and quote a couple things that fools do, okay? Listen, you know, he said we're going to start from ground zero and what's my middle name? And he says Milana, whatever her middle name is. And I don't normally be intimate with people unless they know my middle name. And people don't marry people unless they know a lot about them. But here you are in a situation, a very precarious situation that you need to figure out. Let me try and, this is an hour now, so let me try and run through this last little bit really quickly. They all get together. Talk about how, you know, they're meshing and everybody is seemingly doing well. When they get around to Paige, she gives this story about creating a beautiful story and is encouraged by their faith. I had to look at that. He just says he concurs and she looks at him and says, do you want to share? And then he shares with the group that he got a baby on the way. Honey, and when I tell you Clara's face looked like something, Paige's, not Paige, Clara, Erik's face, not Erik, what's Ryan, Haley, Jacob, they all had a certain look on their face, okay? And then they became very encouraging. Yeah, they become very encouraging to Paige. Excuse me. Clara hits the nail on the head, and she says that she wants to be married so badly that she's just going to accept anything. And I was just like, ding, 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 ding. She was like, she has Stockholm syndrome. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it. But really quick, it is when the victim starts to have feelings or identifies with their kidnapper or captor. She also says, I would leave. What are we still doing here? I think all of us would agree that we would leave. For one reason or another, we would all leave. So Erik and Virginia show up late. First Chris leaves, whispers to Paige, and he leaves. He's feeling some kind of way because everybody is happy except for him and Paige. And he does a little crying over there. I think that was a real cry, not like the last time. You know, and he didn't want to break down in front of them people. I'm sure he didn't. You're already looking kind of foolish, sir. While he's over there breaking down, she's all like, God is writing our story. Like, listen, he is. But he also gives you free will. We be forgetting about that part. Honey, he don't want you to go through unnecessary turmoil and drama. He wants every good thing for your life. And if this doesn't align with that, I don't know what is. But listen, we got to keep seeing how this plays out. Who knows what may happen, right? She goes to console him and tells him not to compare their relationship with anyone else's. And they go back and they join. When Virginia and Erik show up, honey, and they both lit, including Erik. You can see Erik is lit. He can't hang with Virginia, and so he need not be drinking like she drinking. She gonna turn him into a drinker. Because the first thing he says is, we need a drink. Can we get a drink? So then Virginia starts in with her line of questioning who's been intimate first. And, you know, you can see that they talk about how Briona and Vincent are. And you can tell by, like, the connection, though everybody's sitting close together. You can see it's a different, more relaxed, more comfortable vibe between the two of them. So Erik looks over at Chris and was like, you good? How you doing? You good? Like, genuinely asking Chris how he's doing, even though he's drunk. And Clara's all like, oh yeah, y'all missed a whole lot. Like, inappropriate. It is now the catalyst for a bad situation. Because Chris says, I don't owe anyone an explanation. Which he does not. I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I have this baby on the way, right? I'm sharing with y'all because, and I kind of feel like if he approaches it a little differently, if he wasn't Chris per se, then I think people would have been more sympathetic to the situation for him. Virginia's response, are you sure it's yours? I mean, she's drunk. But that's the response that a lot of people are going to have. Are you sure that it's your child? And he's kind of offended, you know. And he feels a little disrespected. You see in his like confessional, you don't ask nobody if the baby is yours, especially if you don't know me. Okay, I get it. But she's drunk. Afford these people who you are sharing this information with to have natural responses, even though it ain't none of her business, and she probably should have just shut the hell up. I mean, you know that's what they do. You know that's what they do. They just think because we sitting together and we on a show together, you could just say whatever. So I don't know. He did ask a couple times for them to change the subject and to respect their privacy. But listen, that was me trying to do that really quick. I'm sure I missed something in that, but not really. Y'all, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this mess of a episode. I really feel like now I understand why Little Black Book 91 does his in segments, because that alone, the Paige segment, was about 25 minutes by itself. It took up all of the time that we sitting here. So listen, y'all know how I feel. I feel like Paige should walk away, okay? Don't stick out for the sake of sticking it out because God ordained this and he's writing our beautiful story. No. And he manifested. No. It is time for you to open up your eyes and see things for what they are. He has been very demeaning in the way that he has talked to you, has treated you. And right now, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to allow him to go on with his life and you move on with yours. Get you that quick annulment, demand the annulment, demand to still get paid, right? For it, you ain't breaching the contract, he is, and move forward. Let him handle his business, right? I think that Erik and Virginia are going to have a problem when it relates to control and drinking and jealousy. I think for Clara and Ryan, it is going to be about religion and how they're raising these children. I feel like Haley and Jacob are just really two ships that happen to be in the same space, in the same harbor, but one is a speedboat and one is a pirate ship, so they aren't even on the same level, right? Then you have Briona and Vince, and honestly, their biggest issue is going to be how they function. He's giving her everything she wants now. He seems like the type that'll get tired of it after a while. He is Dominicano, honey, okay? He is. So I don't think that he is going to put up with too much of her controlling bossiness as it is, right? So who do I think is going to make it out of this? Only Briona and Vincent. Possibly Ryan and Clara, but religion is one of those things that break up families and relationships. Religion, finances, infidelity, and children. Honey, all of those things you really kind of need to be on the same page with. There we go. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 5. Last night was magic. I'm so sorry that this was so long, but glad that you stayed around. I am going live tomorrow in the 5 o'clock hour. For sure I am. I'm about to set up a reminder for you to come and hang out with me and talk with me about this episode. If it's your first time visiting my channel, click the subscribe button, become a ray of sunshine. Also click that notification bell so you can be alerted of when I upload my new videos. And give me a thumbs up and share this with your friends. Let the algorithms know that this is where it's at. Like, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.